welcome to Lund Revisited. It's good to be back. I'm Quentin Cooper, your moderator for the next few hours. First of all, I was the moderator for the original Lund conference back in 2009. So it's good to be back. There's a couple of faces I recognize from before. Can you stick your hand, stick your hand up if you were at the first one? Oh, this is going to turn into one of those Jimi Hendrix Sex Pistols things where everybody claims to have been at an event, but they weren't actually there. Okay, and who's the new blood? Excellent. I'm glad we need new blood. New blood is very important. Okay, so with new or old, if you are tweeting, there is hashtag Lund Revisited. And in order to be able to tweet, you need the Wi-Fi access, which I'm going to tell you is quite complicated. But the details are in your goodie bag. It's the kind of complex system that only a university could come up with, is all I'll say. So why are we here? Lund is a lovely, lively city. Sweden at this time of year makes you feel fantastically Christmassy, especially after that amazing choir. For those who were at the dinner last night, I thought that was really moving, the choir, the Carolina Domkor choir. And, you know, we feel quite Christmassy up here with the festive stage decorations. But what I mean is, why go back to revisit Lund and the Lund Declaration after 6 years? Why not wait for the 10th anniversary, or when Sweden next has the presidency? Or even leave it until a year from now, when Lund University is celebrating its 350th anniversary? Well, one reason I think is rather neatly summed up in a quote I happened to come across from one of Lund's, perhaps arguably Lund's most famous son, and one of my absolute all-time favorite actors, known to people like me as Max von Sydow, known, I think, if you're Swedish, as Max von Sydow. He's managed more than half a century as a movie star, from Seventh Seal, Bergman back in '57, and he's still got a leading role in the new Star Wars movie that's out in a couple of weeks' time. And he's a brilliant actor. But he was just talking just a couple of years ago in an interview, and he said, we should look back now and then. Our politicians should look back every now and then and learn from that. So that, to the max, is what we'll be trying to do today, revisiting what we declared in 2009, learning lessons from what we said we'd do, and what we actually did. Now another, I think, is contained in the slightly more famous line, at least more famous in this context, the kind of headline from the original Lund Declaration: Europe must focus on the grand challenges of our time. Our times, they are a-changing. 2015 is not 2009. The challenges have changed. The technology has changed. Most of us here, probably now in your pockets, you've got a phone that's got autofocus on it and takes really nice high-definition pictures. Unfortunately, policies are not autofocus. They need to be manually refocused and redirected and recentered every so often. We are here to do that, to resharpen those images and make sure we're focused on the right things with the right energy and the right speed. So revisiting, refocusing, revitalizing. I'd say that is why we're here today. But I'm just the moderator. And this, I assure you, will be the nearest I get to a speech all day. My job will be to keep things really moving and hopefully fairly lively. That won't be hard to do. I'll keep intros short for absolutely everybody. So apologies, you've all got really interesting lives, but I'm not going to go into them in great detail. You can find out more online. I'll just keep it bare bones. And although we've got interesting, important, impactful people in the room, the only thing that I'm going to treat as being important is that clock at the back there. I will keep things moving on time. That is my God for today. So, as evidence of this, I'm going to get things going properly, or we're going to get things going properly with a welcome address to put the day and its goals in context. I'm delighted that to give it, we're going to welcome the Swedish Minister for Higher Education and Research, who also welcomed us to the dinner last night. Please welcome to the stage Helene Hellmark Knutsson.
Thank you very much for that short introduction. Dear Commissioner, fellow speakers, ladies and gentlemen, It is a great privilege to be here today and to be able to listen and to discuss how we together can tackle the societal challenges of our time, for which higher education, research and innovation is the key. These are indeed troublesome times. The dreadful acts of terrorism we have seen recently in Paris, in Beirut, and in other places are attacks upon democracy itself and our open society. In these times, the most important thing of all is to stand up for the values that guide us: democracy, freedom, and equality. Terrorism cannot and will not shake these values. For me, these recent acts of terrorism have made it even more obvious why we need to gather here today, and also in Paris for COP21. We need to tackle the underlying causes of terrorism and conflict by taking a long-term approach. To do this, we need knowledge, research, and international collaboration. Only then we can understand and counteract the complex patterns for conflicts and terror, and find solutions to ground societal challenges. Knowledge is truly the foundation for hope. In the first Lund conference in 2009, my predecessor Tobias Krantz said, "There are two issues that outshine all others in urgency: European economic recovery and climate change." This is still valid today. Progress in addressing societal challenges is notable in several areas, but the challenges we are facing are perhaps more challenging than ever. Business as usual is not an option. We need to step up our efforts to tackle existing challenges and respond rapidly to new challenges, such as migration and an aging population. The magnitude of our societal challenges is of the kind that no individual researcher, research discipline, nation, or industry can develop solutions on their own. At the same time, Europe is recovering from an economic crisis. This could risk limiting public and private investment in higher education, research, and innovation. The urgency of the societal challenges call for a long-term perspective where the importance of research and innovation cannot be overstated. There is a great need to continue to develop the European research and innovation system in order to create real impact. We need to change the way we work when tackling societal challenges. The research and innovation systems need to bring together resources and knowledge across different fields, technologies, and disciplines to form a robust ecosystem for research and innovation. And this calls for researchers, policymakers, and other actors to cooperate across border and with society. We have identified 4 priorities where progress and actions are vital: alignment, global cooperation, frontier research, and impact. First, alignment. The urgency and complexity of our societal challenges are great and have bearings on all of us. Regardless of nationality, the work of finding solutions must be a joint effort. Alignment can mean many things. For me, the most important aspect is that we are prepared to take on this important work together in order to solve our societal challenges. We must be flexible in our approach, use our resources in the most efficient way, but also show that we and the research society truly commit ourselves. 2, global cooperation. One of the most central aspects in tackling grand societal challenges is the need for cooperation also outside Europe. We need the knowledge and talent of the whole world. My government has identified internationalization as one of our main priorities. And why is that? Choosing openness and welcoming differences has served Sweden well. It has brought us from being one of the poorest countries in Europe to becoming one of the richest. This is why I know that openness and collaboration is a powerful method in order to reach success. This is true for Sweden, and it's equally true for Europe and for the rest of the world. Not only are the challenges we are facing global, but we live in global times. This is something to embrace. We have to see that the world is also here. Europe is facing one of its greatest challenges in modern time. The inflow of refugees is changing the landscape of Europe rapidly, and it is demanding, not the least for Sweden. But at the same time, this is an opportunity, with new competence coming to our countries that we need to embrace. One of the Commissioner Moeda's key messages is open to the world. I applaud this. Europe should be proud of this ambition. 3. Frontier research. At the time of the first Lund conference in 2009, we could look forward to some years of increased investment in research and innovation. But today, we have to make sure we can maintain an investment in frontier research. This calls for more efficient use of the existing resources. Many countries increase their investment in science because there is a trust that society as a whole will benefit through innovation based on the research. And one has to keep in mind that individuals, not systems, produce research and new knowledge. It is important to understand that applied science and application close to use and user most often spring from basic research performed with the sole purpose of answering questions about how the world functions. A good balance between basic and applied research is necessary. To quote the research policy advisor of the President Obama, Dr. Holdren, basic research is the seed corn for innovation. The ability to tackle our societal challenges and to respond rapidly to new challenges is also dependent on a strong science base. 4. Impact. But a seed is of course not enough for growing a whole plant. We need several factors to collaborate. And collaboration is a fundamental aspect also in tackling societal challenges and in creating impact. I have already mentioned collaboration between countries, but collaboration between different actors is equally important. For ensuring impact, we need to strengthen the links between different competences and different actors. By better enabling co-creation and open innovation between academia, research institutes, industry, the public sector and the public, we can foster a closer integration between research and innovation. This way, research can more efficiently result in impact for society by jointly addressing research and by involving stakeholders who are dependent on the implementation of the research results. Impact does not only mean that we bring forward solutions to societal challenges. It also means that we can vitalize the European industry. Since societal challenges are of global interest, solutions can result in products and services with a global demand. This way, they can also serve as important driver for European competitiveness, growth, and making Europe a better place to live in. The way forward. The Lund Declaration 2009 told Europe what to focus on, the grand challenges of our time and ways forward. Our societal challenges will also be a base for the new Swedish policy on research and innovation that the government will put forward in about a year from now. Today, with the Lund Revisited Conference and the Lund Declaration 2015, we continue to build on that work since 2009. We will focus on the further steps needed in order to find and implement solutions to global challenges for the benefit of citizens and the advancement of sustainable and globally competitive society as a whole. During the coming years, we have a shared responsibility to make progress in tackling our societal challenges. It is my hope that the Lund Revisited Conference and the Lund Declaration of 2015 will provide us with timely and important input on how to move forward together in order to make visible change for today and for the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Minister.